Our guest is Karen L. Kirshner. I am so excited to have her here today. We're going to be talking about her journey in art. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, thank you, Donna. Very well.
Thank you for bringing in these lovely pieces. To the left, what is the name of that piece?
That is Red Scene 3, and that won the Award of Excellence from Dan Christoffel as juror at the Art League of Long Island.
Beautiful. And Karen, what is the name of the center painting?
That is Fiesta, and I just showed that in Red Dot Miami with George Billis Gallery, and that one is going to be in the Paramount Theater late June through to August 1st because I'm being spotlighted.
Congratulations. And is that a solo show?
Or? It's a solo show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yes, especially because this woman found me at the Southampton Art Center when I was in a fair, and it's like a discovery, and I was very excited about it because she loved that red painting.
Yeah, so tell me about the red painting.
Yeah, and she saw my other work. And so she said, would you be interested in being spotlighted? We think of starting something up at the Paramount. And I said, yeah, maybe. And then I checked it out. She called me, and I contracted now. So
congratulations. And what is the name of the third painting?
And the third painting, that is Red Scene. And that has been around the country, and that won an award in Mississippi in a major juried exhibition. It was center stage. Yeah.
Do you have a gallery that you consider like your home gallery?
Well, right now I'm at BJ Spoke Gallery, which is a cooperative. Yeah, it's
I only said, oh wow, because
you know of it.
Yeah, it's very exclusive.
Well,
so you've shown there. No, it really is. Like, yeah,
it's got a good reputation.
It does. It has a fine reputation.
Yeah,
for
it's
art.
been around for almost half a century, and originally it was in Port Washington, and now it's in Huntington, and we're looking for new members. But it's people there are photographers, they're painters, they're people who do all kinds of art, sculptors, and so it's a nice group of people. We're get to be very close after a time. I've been there since like 2016, 2017.
Do you remember the first painting that you sold, the first piece of work?
Yes, right out of the window at BJ Spoke.
Okay, tell us about that piece and how that made you feel.
Oh, that was in my first solo show. I was very excited, but it was like I lost a baby.
Okay.
Because these paintings are like babies. But I was thrilled that somebody loved it so much she came back twice. First, she came with a baby carriage, I was told, and with a baby in it, and told someone at the desk that, because we're all volunteers, so it was a volunteer at the desk, that she loved that painting. It was called, I think it was called Lost in the City. And it reminded her of what she was going through, having been in the city, and now she was on Long Island in Huntington. And it just really resonated with her. And that's what people need when they're ready to buy something, buy painting. It has to touch them right in their heart. It has to have that impact. Otherwise, they could just say, well, I can spend the money on something else. Mm-hmm. But that's something they have to have. So this woman went away, and I was told, this guy Richard Anello, one of the artists, he told me, I don't think she's going to come back. People say they're coming back and they don't come back. So she came back the next day with the money in her hands and wanted to pay cash and to buy the painting. So I was asked, you want to sell it? Are you okay about it? And I said, yes, definitely, sell it, give it to her. But I needed to know who she was. So I did find out.
That makes sense to me, too. Because I come from a long line of artists, and there is that connection, that symbiotic connection. It is almost like birthing, because you're creating from nothingness, and you're giving something life.
Right, exactly.
Right? And there is that's still that connection there, that golden, almost like iridescent string, if you will.
Your soul is in every painting. My soul goes into the painting. I'm one with the painting, like it's an actor. I was always empathic, and I always became whatever it was I was involved with. Whether it was writing or music or art, and acting. And at Vassar, I was selected for a role in the freshman class, and I kind of chickened out of it. I was kind of shy. So what happened was, I just become whatever it is. And I become the painting. I'm one with the painting. It's a spiritual experience. And people who aren't creative wouldn't know that.
What is your process? So you start out with a blank canvas. And do you sketch something first, or do you just go right from brush to
I go right from brush to canvas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you do like darker colors and then build upon it? Or do you just start in a corner? Like How do you paint, Karen? How do you like to do it?
It depends.
Okay.
Like with the red painting, I painted the canvas red. I thought this is going to be a challenge. What am I going to do next?
Okay.
And I look at it and I think, what am I going to do? So I may have started with just one shape. You know, sometimes I just start with a square, or I start with a circle, usually a square, and then I just work from there. And I take pictures of what I'm doing. It's all like in the moment.
Good for you.
And I don't use any props, anything to look at to inspire me.
And you take pictures of the progress?
I take the pictures of the progress, and then I study it. I look at it. I study it with my photos. Sometimes I have to use my iPad to see it bigger, and I see what it needs. I see what works. What does it? Maybe I need to balance the colors. I'm always balancing. Balancing is very important to me, and so the colors have to balance. The forms have to balance. And sometimes things are asymmetric. And I have a friend, this woman who's an artist, Joyce Kubat, and she tells me, Karen, it's great because I had something asymmetrical. I said, but it's asymmetrical. No, that's great. So I just, I take what they say to me, people say to me, and but then, like as the cliche is, with a grain of salt, and I do what I want to do. Nobody can tell me what to do. No teacher's ever been able to teach me or tell me when it comes to art. I always naturally knew what to do. And
I find that's true because there are realists that are able to replicate someone else's work, and that's one form of art.
Right.
But it's a different type of artist, as you shared, where you're not really copying anyone else's style.
Right.
You're inspired just by your own imagination.
Right. And the thing is, though, that we are all influenced by others in the art world and in our environment. So everything that influences me, the news influences me. That's where my painting After Irma came from, which was an excellent piece and got a lot of attention. And that one was inspired by the hurricane. And I didn't know. I was painting. I didn't know what I was going to be painting. The news was really getting to me, and the painting became like a crumbling with bright colors and everything, but a crumbling, a destruction, and then a rebirth, and in elements, the symbols that I had in the painting, and the same thing happened with the Ukraine war. I was painting for the show that I'm having now, BJ Spoke. It's It was started on the 27th. It goes through the 22nd of May. And I have a painting there called Lost in the Rubble. And then I have a painting called Exodus. And another one that's the same size, 20 by 24. The other one's very large. And they're all influenced by what was happening in Ukraine. And one of them, I have like a little skeletal hand coming up. That's in Lost in the Rubble, and all the rubble. And it's a very loose gestural piece with a lot of dots in it that I was deliberately dropping dots strategically. People think when they see a mess, a messy painting, a gestural painting, whatever, that people, they're not putting any thought into it.
Oh,
but
no.
But there's thought that goes into everything. It's not something done, from stream of consciousness.
Yes.
And so that influenced me. I did a painting called Asylum Seekers that was in the Taller Berkoa Gallery in Manhattan. It was Upper Manhattan, and it was like the first Puerto Rican gallery. And when I did this painting, I was thinking of the people trying to get asylum at the border of the United States. And it was troubling me how some children were being taken away from parents, and people were, in a lot of difficulties. So I didn't know. I had a black canvas. I didn't know what I was going to do. I ended up painting something that was very political. It was showing them almost like in an assembly line, like a prison, looking like a prison. And these people, I had abstract figures.
Yeah, it's almost
were
like
falling down.
Almost like a commentary, if you will.
Yeah.
So you're an artist that sometimes likes to make a commentary
not
through
on
the brush.
purpose. Yeah,
Right.
not on purpose. Just happens because
So now
it's
Fiesta-
filtering through me.
Now, when I look at this particular work in
Right.
the center, what I notice is that just like somebody that sketches your line work, you have a very definitive line,
It's interesting.
almost
you
like
said
your
that.
mark, right? Are
Right.
you using like the same type of brush? Are you using like a sable brush that comes to a point? Are you using like a flat brush? Are you using
It's
a
funny.
mixture of brushes? Like, how do you like to make
Yeah.
your mark?
Well, I'm spontaneous.
Okay.
So you know, I have so many brushes, and they all get worn out quickly, and then I have to, especially little brushes, like tiny brushes, and they don't last very long at all. So I really help brush manufacturers. But I think part of it was I went outside with the painting, and I was probably throwing paint and strategically determining where I wanted certain colors, and then I was taking that in and then determining what else it needed, you know, looking at pictures of it and determining what I want to do with it, and then let my imagination go with it. I can't really say anything's really deliberate in terms of using a tool. There are times that I will use you know, a knife, you know, a palette knife, to get a line, for example, or you know, I'll use a stick. A lot of times when I paint outside, I use sticks.
Nice.
And you know, I even have a whole collection now of popsicle sticks from Fruit Pops, because I know I'm going to be using them. And you know,
I know the mind of an artist. My grandfather's studio too. When he passed, there were coffee cans full of things and all different things, and you know, and there was probably something similar, like a popsicle stick that he, like maybe that was for his grass. You know, like you never know, like what had happened. But I thank you for bringing art to our community.
Oh, thank you.
It means a lot to me that you came here today.
Oh, thank you.
To share your work.
Thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate art.
I do. I sincerely do. It just like you said, there's something in my DNA, right? So,
definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Please, if you are someone that wants to express their soul and you think that painting might be for you, just give it a try. Buy some acrylics because they dry faster than oils. Or if you want to just email me if you have any questions, I'd be happy to tell you about my art background as well. But we have been visiting with Karen L. Kirshner, and thank you for watching.